All right, here's a fun fact for you. For nearly 800 years, Africa had a massive influence on Spain. Sounds crazy, right? But it's 100% true. The Moors, a group of Africans, ruled much of Spain, leaving behind a legacy that still impacts the world today. If you didn't know that, don't worry. We're diving into the truth about the Moors and how they changed history. Stick around, because this is one fascinating story you definitely need to hear. Now, first things first, let's talk about who the Moors really were. The term Moor isn't just one group of people, but a mix of different African cultures. You got Berbers from North Africa, Arabs from the Middle East, and even some sub-Saharan Africans who all came together during this period. They crossed the Strait of Gibraltar in 711 AD under a general named Tariq ibn Ziyad, and let me tell you, they changed everything. Now, the reason they crossed into Spain wasn't just some random military conquest. They were invited by local Spanish rulers to help fight off rival kingdoms. But once they got there, they weren't leaving anytime soon. Over the next 800 years, the Moors dominated much of the Iberian Peninsula. That's modern-day Spain and Portugal, and they left behind a lasting mark that's still felt today. So, what exactly did the Moors do during their rule? Well, everything. From science to architecture to culture, they totally transformed Spain. Let's start with architecture. You've probably heard of the Alhambra in Granada, right? This stunning palace complex was built by the Moors and is one of the most famous examples of Islamic architecture in the world. And it's not just the Alhambra. The Moors built entire cities with advanced infrastructure. They were masters at creating water systems, gardens, and beautiful structures that still leave us in awe today. But the Moors didn't just focus on making things look beautiful. They were also super innovative when it came to science and knowledge. In the city of Cordoba, the Moors created one of the largest libraries in the world at the time. Scholars translated ancient Greek texts into Arabic, preserving knowledge that could have been lost forever. And let's not forget the Moorish influence on mathematics. Yep, we're talking about Arabic numerals. Without them, we wouldn't have our modern number system. They were basically laying the groundwork for the European Renaissance. But like all great empires, the Moors eventually faced challenges. In the 1200s, Christian kingdoms in Spain began to push back, leading to the Reconquista, a long series of wars where the Christians tried to reclaim Spain. After almost 800 years, in 1492, the last Moorish kingdom, Granada, fell to the Christians, marking the end of Moorish rule. Now, you might think that after the Moors were driven out, their influence disappeared. But that's where things get interesting. The Moors' contributions didn't just vanish. Spanish language, architecture, even food, all of these were shaped by Moorish culture. You can still see their impact in Spain today. Ever had paella? That dish has Moorish roots, blending Arab and Mediterranean flavors. The Moors were also the reason we have some of the best science and philosophy Europe has ever seen. So, what's the bigger takeaway from all this? The Moors show us that history isn't as simple as it seems. They weren't just invaders. They were innovators, scholars, and builders. They brought new ideas to Europe, and even though their empire eventually fell, their legacy still lives on the art, science, and culture that shaped the Western world. If you learned something new today or found this story as fascinating as I did, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I got so many more incredible stories about African history that you won't want to miss. And hey, drop a comment below. What part of the Moors' history surprised you the most? Or, if you got a suggestion for a future video, I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious about history.